So if somebody wanted to set up a talent academy, and you wanted to, you're a company and you've got a sales force, you've got a sales force existing.
Yeah.
In terms of the cost to acquire sales, to train and to recruit and develop sales, there's always been a period of, can the Raw Talent Academy bring some advantages in terms of the way that you're considering training, so that they're more, the salespeople are more better equipped?
No, absolutely. And I think that's one of the key things. If you take on an experienced person, you want a return on your investment relatively quickly. Look, I don't know what it is over all industries, but typically in sales and industries that I've worked in, you want a 3-month return. So if you hire somebody within say April the 1st, by June or whatever, you want to start seeing a return on that person, an experienced person. If you take on a rookie or new talent, or somebody that hasn't got that sales experience before, you expect to have a longer period of time before you get a return on investment. But the research that I've done, and just from my experiences, and bearing in mind that I've been employed salespeople for the last 7 years, suggests to me that it's not as long as you think. You could probably get a similar return off a rookie, somebody who hasn't done it, than somebody who's experienced, because somebody who's experienced wants guarantees. They want, I've already been earning this, so you start paying them more money. You start paying them more guarantees on their bonuses or their commissions or whatever it might be. Whereas the rookie, they're fresh. You can mould them. It's a little bit like you take your driving.
Those new tricks.
Yeah, you take your driving test. If you drive, I drive. If I took my driving test today, I'd fail. Why? Because I don't do 10 to 2 anymore. I cross my hands, I put my elbow out. It's the same thing. People pick up bad habits. Whereas if you've got a fresh team of people, talent, an academy, 10 or 12 heads or 8 heads or whatever it might be, all doing the same thing, all learning at the same time, putting their own personalities in it at the same effort, having all the same sorts of targets and milestones in order for them to achieve, isn't that collectively going to be more effective than having dribs and jabs of experienced people? No, I don't do it that way, I do it my way, I do it my way. How can your business function effectively when you've got people doing it all of their own thing? Now look, I'm not here to harp on about everybody should get fresh talent, raw talent in, but I'm saying there's a balance there, and a lot of people, where is your next superstar coming from? I do a lot of public speaking, a lot of talking, a lot of events at colleges and universities. I'm the ambassador for business enterprise for Harrow College, for example, and one of my roles there is to actually look at talking to 18, 19, 20-year-olds to say, what are you looking at doing after this education? How are you going to go about doing things, and trying to get them understanding what jobs potentially could be out there for them, or should they set up on their own, and all that side of things. So there's a lot of different elements to the Raw Talent Academy, but for me it's not just about get everybody in fresh. It's about getting that balance and making sure that you've got something. Your next Steven Gerrard, if you like, your next superstar, your next Lewis Hamilton, where are they coming from? Because Lewis Hamilton, Steven Gerrard's, the Williams sisters, they all come from academies. That's what they did. Steven Gerrard's been at Liverpool since he was 8 years old. Why is he such a good player? Why is he so embedded into that company, to that football club's ethos? Because he is Liverpool. And if you set up academies in business, it has the same effect.
So what about the geographic nature of where academy can set up? Is it just a London thing? Can it be done anywhere?
It can be done anywhere. I mean, I'm talking to organisations that are up in Manchester, in Bristol, down in London. We've just signed a Raw Talent Academy. We've just signed a deal with Blue Arrow. So we're working with Blue Arrow now, partly in Pelham Group. We've also signed a contract with Personal Care Bank, so again it's a recruitment business. We also signed a contract with AstraZeneca. So within a 6-month period, I'm managing to work alongside these big organisations. Sorry to name drop, but it's just a case of it's a credibility thing. You know what I mean? So we're working with a lot of different businesses and colleges and universities, doing a lot of work with Loughborough University and all that sort of stuff as well on separate things. But certainly, it's not just that one region. My office is based in South Oxfordshire. I'm in London most of the time, as you know, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't work out where we are. You asked me a question before, how does it work? It's client driven. So once a client says to me, okay, we're interested, we want to do this, that's when I will start ramping up the advertising and the awareness of what's happening. It's kind of like the Raw Talent Academy bus is in your area, come and apply. It'll be that sort of thing. So, if somebody wants to apply for an opportunity in Manchester, right at this moment, we won't have anything because we haven't got an academy happening in Manchester at the moment. However, that doesn't necessarily mean to say that there won't be something happening in Manchester. Make sense?
That makes absolute sense. No, very, very interesting. So, in terms of the growth of Broad Talent Academy, I'm sure as the business grows, there's going to be other offshoots that's going to open up to you for different sort of bolt-ons and add-ons for the business. Is there anything you're thinking about at the moment you'll consider adding into the pot? I mean, I've noticed the website's growing, it's developing all the time.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You might have a couple more ideas of something that you're bringing in that you might want to talk about now, you might not.
No,
but there might be something you think that's going to be added.
I think one of the importance is that if I explain the 3 phases, the search and selection phase, the audition phase and the training phase, of the whole Broad Talent Academy piece, some organisations don't want to buy the whole piece. Some organisations say, well, I've actually got quite a lot of people, referrals coming into my business, but I don't know how to train them. So then they look at me and look at my training and development programs and say, okay, we'll buy that piece. So we've tried to adapt to what our clients' needs are and what our customers' needs are. One of the other things, what I would like to do as well, is to put something together which is around development or career development. So not just necessarily, it's very much focused on sales. It's what we know at Broad Talent Academy, it's what we're all about. But to actually adapt and to start doing some sort of career development around giving mentoring and business advice and guidance to people that don't necessarily want a career in sales, but they just want some sort of direction. When I left school, Bradley, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. My hand was forced. By the time I was 18, I had a mortgage and 2 jobs, right? But that's a different story. But for me, my hand was forced from that. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so many youngsters, and I'm talking about Generation Y now, 16 to 24, so many youngsters don't know what they want to do. And they'll be watching this now, or be reading it back or whatever, and they'll be going, yeah, that's me, I don't know what to do. And it's about giving them a platform. I've been speaking to Department of Work and Pensions now for a while about their new enterprise schemes that they've got coming on, which are fantastic. So anyone that's looking to get into enterprise, to have a look at that and check out the websites and stuff for the government. But I've been working with them a long time now about the mentoring side, because I think it's really important if you can have somebody you can just bounce ideas off, not necessarily to run the business, but just to bounce ideas off and to understand, okay, I'm going through this, so is this a problem I can share with you or whatever, is a massive thing that I didn't have. When you didn't have that direction, when you're young, you just think, oh, I'll do this, I'll do a bit of that, and it wasn't really structured. And for me, the reason why I've been successful in business with Capita, the reason why I've been successful in winning the Apprentice and working for Lord Sugar for the 2 years that I did and setting up the AM screen, and relatively successful now with Broad Talent Academy, is about planning, it's about being prepared, it's about making sure that you have a map, if you like, or a plan that you can actually achieve things every day. Because if you achieve every day, then you're motivated. If you're motivated every day, then you want to go and achieve more. Do you see what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's very, very, again, simple, but that's the key attributes I think that we need.
Do you know, today I've interviewed 2 people. A guy called James, who owns a company called Winkball.
Yeah.
I think yourself. And James this morning, it was like the oozy of passion. You 2 guys, you should hook up, I swear, because you're so passionate about what you're doing and what you're doing at Royal Talent Academy, and that really, really clearly shows. And I think that is just how passionate you are. It's going to give people the start that they need to start considering.
Sometimes it's a confidence thing, Brad, isn't it? I mentioned on purpose earlier about me not being confident. That's why I went on the Apprentice. What the Apprentice did for me was showed that you can set up a fish stall and make money. That you can set up a laundry business, and start banging on doors and making money. The hardest thing about selling is actually picking up that phone, making that first contact. The hardest thing is making that first contact. You've got 20 minutes once in a face-to-face. If you mess it up, are you going to get out of business? That's the hardest. People don't want to do it. I am going to do it. 5, 6 years experience.
I'm thinking about it.
Face the fear.
Yeah.
Do it anyway. It's about just getting in there and doing it and getting over that kind of initial fears. And once you've done that, it gives you that confidence. And if you've got that confidence to say, you know what, I know this idea is good, I've done my research, I've got my knowledge, I know from the market conditions and the competitors' analysis or whatever you've done that this is a good business idea, I'm going to go for it. And that's why I set up Broad Talent Academy. I knew in my own heart, look, it's tough. It is tough, there's no doubt about it. You have to make sacrifices. I've got a mortgage, etc., and all of that sort of stuff, and to walk away from a fantastic job, from a fantastic mentor with Simon Sugar and everything, it was hard to do that. But I knew that if I can do it and I can start to build it up to where it currently is now and beyond, I knew it was going to be the right decision for me. So my message effectively to people out there would be that if you've got an idea and you think it checks out, get critique. Make sure that people are critiquing it, because it's massively important. But if you still think it's good after all of them things, go for it.
There's a clear message. What a fantastic interview we've had today with Lee McQueen. I'm sure there's some questions that wanted to be asked. We did lose connection slightly in between. There's a couple more slides just to run through. Just before we go on, today is probably the first time we've been on Raw Business TV with someone. Well, actually, it's the first Apprentice winner on Raw TV, so that's the first. I'd like anyone who's watching, Raw Business members, if you've got any potential opportunities to do, or you want to speak to Lee regarding setting up a talent academy, we're going to give you some contact details now to contact Lee or to contact his company. You can call, is this the right number we've got here, Lee? 01844353340.
Right.
And we've got info@rawtalentacademy.com. And of course, please do visit the website, www.rawtalentacademy.com. Thank you very much indeed
No
for joining
worries,
us
yeah,
today.
really enjoyed it.
It's great
Nice
meeting you
one,
in
buddy.
person
Yeah, really
finally.
good. Yeah,
And I
good
wish
to
you
meet
every
you.
success in what
Thank
you're
you
doing.
very much
I
indeed.
think you're an absolute advocate for sales, not just that, for business. You're a very passionate man, you're very driven. And I think the Apprentice and what you're doing now is absolutely awesome, mate. And I just wish you every continued success,
Perfect.
mate.
You too, mate.
You're a great bloke and very down to earth as well, which is always nice as well. So thank you very much indeed for joining us today. From everybody that's watching. Next time we've got Claire Wright, Monday the 7th of March at 1 o'clock on Raw Business TV. That's it from us today from Wardour Street, and as you know, my book's coming out in a couple of months, and all these people that I'm meeting, all these fantastic entrepreneurs, these exciting people that are doing it, they really do make great material, and every single time I meet somebody I pick up something else. We're just going to go off air now. I'm just going to mention this idea to Lee that I've had in my mind. He's probably already got it covered, but in any case, it's goodbye for me from Raw TV.
Goodbye. Thank you very much indeed.